If it lands before the end of the broadcast, we are prepared to go live to the Jacksonville airport. They were also talking about the football Cardinals in Baltimore today, whether they're interested or not. Bidwell has already met with some of the Baltimore people about their stadium, but Maryland Governor Schaefer is very sensitive about raiding St. Louis since he was the mayor of Baltimore when the Colts left for Indianapolis.
The only way I would become involved or interested if I was assured and felt assured that the mayor of St. Louis had made every effort to keep the team and wasn't going to be able to keep it any longer.
That was Governor Schaefer after meeting with the Maryland Stadium Authority today, and so the race is on for the football Cardinals. More on the Big Red in a couple of moments. In hockey, the Blues were in Montreal tonight, not exactly their favorite place to play, and tonight was no exception. Well, let's go to the Forum. We'll pick it up in the second period. Blues were down 3-1. Ron Flockhart to Bernie Federko. It was 3-2. Then the Blues again in front. One crack here by Brian Benning. Then Doug Gilmour scores. We're tied at 3. Montreal made it 4-3, but third period, Bernie Federko behind the net, gets it to Mark Hunter. He scores. It's 4-all, but the Canadians would pull it out. Third period, Shel Dahlin down the right wing here. He will shoot. He will score. That made it 5-4. Canadians also added an empty netter, and they win it. Final was 6-4. Hey, remember last week in New York, Philadelphia Flyer Dave Brown with the stick to Thomas Sandstrom. Well, today, Brown was suspended for 15 games by the NHL. Rangers general manager Phil Esposito was outraged, though, calling the decision not nearly severe enough. In soccer, the Steamers released longtime St. Louis favorite forward Jeff Cacciatore today. Cacciatore has been with the Steamers since 1981, but Coach Tony Glavine said he wanted more firepower up front. Back to football, the Giants and Cowboys right now at the Meadowlands. Monday Night Football, Giants leading it 17-14 at the end of the third quarter. All right, now I don't do this very often, but we had so many phone calls tonight, I guess it's worth repeating. I'm talking, of course, about the Big Red and the 24,000 fans that turned out for their game yesterday. 24,000 amazed me under the circumstances, but quarterback Neil Lomax was not amazed. Neil, could you comment on the crowd?
Not enough to make a comment on it. Not enough people there to even say anything, you know. It's disappointing. They don't want to see football. That's their problem. You know, we're not playing exceptionally well, but then again, hey, Philadelphia's a good football team. And, you know, we got the Giants coming to town. We got the Redskins coming to town. People don't want to see football here. Obviously, we won't be here.
Like I say, Neil, we do want to see football. That's why most of us stayed home to watch the Bears on TV. We don't want to see football. That's why we didn't show up. It has nothing to do with the fact that Bill Bidwell is ready to move the team out of town again. It has nothing to do with the fact that the Cardinals have only made the playoffs 3 times in 27 years and will miss the playoffs again this year. And it has nothing to do with you, Neil Lomax, the best 30-30 quarterback in the NFL. From your 30-yard line to their 30-yard line. Getting in the end zone is your only problem. Oh, sure, your statistics are pretty good, usually better than, say, Jim McMahon, but somehow he finds a way to win. And, Neil, you went on to say in that interview that your teammates are much of the problem. You said the linemen are being manhandled, Stump Mitchell is hurt. Nothing to do with you, Neil. Blame them. Blame us. I'll say this. Your teammates and your coach didn't blame the fans. They blamed themselves. And that's the bottom line, Neil. It is your fault. And your coaches and your teammates, and most of all, the owner and his front office. This isn't a good football team, and that's been the rule rather than the exception these past 27 years. Neil, at the end there, you said people here don't want to see football. So obviously, we won't be here. I say it's arguable that you were ever here in the first place. That's sports, and in this case, you don't gotta love it.
That's right. Thank you, Mike.
And we'll be back.